Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from Martian TV. Another quick game of interplanetary I Spy going on here. Back on Gale Crater, back at Mount Sharp, and this is Mars, of course. And we have this image from Sol 1628, and I've been working on this image for a few hours now, 2 or 3 hours, and I've done some clips already. In fact, I've got the folder here, and I haven't done much to these clips at all, because actually you don't need to do a great deal. And we have, this is the raw image. I'll show you the raw image first. And we have this interesting ridgeline at the top of the mountainous area here. Now, this is miles away from the rover. It doesn't look that far away, but it is. The rover zoomed the camera right in, and we're approximately 3 miles away from this ridge, possibly 4, okay? So this is quite a long way off, but the rover does have a very powerful zoom lens on its camera, on the mast cam, and it can zoom in from 5 or 6 miles quite easily and see quite good detail. But it's not zoomed right in. It's zoomed in, but not right in on this thing here. We've got the ridge line at the top here. There's a little peak there, and then we have this lovely looking dome. And this is a completely raw image. You've got an interesting shape here next to it, very perfectly curved there, and a bit sticking up there. And you have this, okay? A lovely dome with an archway type kind of structure on the front of it, almost like an igloo, but of course it's not an igloo. This is obviously made of rock. This is a mountain. This is probably about 1 kilometre up from the ground at least. So this is big. I don't know exactly how big it is. I will put some approximate measurements in the description below, as I will the links to the original images, so you can just download this and have a look yourself. Well worth a look. I mean, crazy stuff. And I will give a little bit of credit from Rami Bar Ilan, because he's already posted this and published it on Facebook on my page. In fact, about 40 minutes ago. Okay, so credit to him as well. Obviously, he must have been looking at this at the same time as me, but he's just done a nice little compilation cutout thing here with the raw image and some clips here for you to see there. Okay, and this is on Artanian TV Mars Magazine, my Facebook group. So if you want to check it out on there, you're welcome to do so. It's an open group, anyone can come along. And if you find anything yourself, you can post it up here as well. And there we have it. So I'm sure there are plenty of other researchers who are looking at this image right now as we speak. But let's go back to my folder, and I've got it here. I mean, if you see the original clip I took here, look at this, look at the properties on that. Yeah, I mean, this was 2 hours ago I made this image clip, so he was probably looking at it at exactly the same time, which is bound to happen, of course, when you're waiting for some decent images to come onto the website. I expect there's lots of researchers out there who are doing the very same thing right now. So here we are. There's the raw clip, okay. Here's an enhanced clip. Nice dome with a arch on the front of it here, and what looks like some kind of structure leading down from it here in front of it, okay, which kind of goes down to this ridge. Not a great deal of detail here, but this is a long way off, so this is very large, possibly 100 foot tall and hundreds of feet wide. I'd imagine something like that. I don't know exactly. I will try and work it out, and I'll put some measurements below if I can, okay? So that was about it for this one, really. I mean, I'll put these clips in at the end, as usual. Let's see it from a bit further back, because it actually looks clearer from this distance. Okay, there's the enhanced image. And you've got a nice dome with an arch type structure in front of it, and a kind of little path type way coming down. Awesome. I mean, this is very large. It's just a long way off. Unfortunately, the image is a bit out of focus because it's not really focused on anything in particular. It's set to infinity focus, so you don't really see sharp detail like you would expect to see when you take a photograph yourself, because it hasn't actually focused on it properly. Here's an overall enhancement of the whole image, okay? And you've got just loads of little random rocks in the foreground. This is about 1 kilometre from here to here, about another kilometre from here to that part there, and another kilometre back to here. So it's about you're talking about 2 or 3 miles, about 4 kilometres. Don't know exactly, but this is going on experience and looking at some of the diagrams they've posted in the past. I may put a diagram in at the end to help with that, but I don't think there is one for this exact spot, giving you a distance thing. But this is a long way off, okay? So this is from the ground. If we were stood right here at the bottom of the picture, this thing is, I would say, about 3 to 4 kilometers away, possibly miles, okay? But I would say at least 3 kilometers and possibly 4 miles, 3 or 4 miles. So somewhere between. So there we have it. I mean, it's not a brilliant quality image, but you know, I cleaned it up a little bit here, added some contrast and color corrected it, as I usually do. And there we have it, okay? You don't have to do anything to it at all, it's just there. Sitting right on the top of this ridge of Mount Sharp, which is one of the lower slopes of Mount Sharp. And there's also some interesting stuff here that's like a possible intelligent structure here. And there are all the way along this mountain, as I'll show you now. I've done a mini gigapan here. I've got it up in my thing here, where I've got 4 of the images and put what I thought were the most interesting ones anyway. And I've stitched them together very crudely here, just to give you an idea of scale here. And you've got this thing right on the end, okay? Right up here. Here's the dome with this very, very artificial looking part here as well, okay? And we go right along. This may distort a little bit as I move it. It's a very large image, this. This is about 10,000 or so pixels wide, so it's very large indeed. And we got these other structures here, which I've made many videos on before, so you can, I'll put links at the end of the video. If you're new to this channel, check out the cards at the end of the video. You can click straight onto those and they will take you to some of my other videos that cover this area, because we have a whole bunch of domes here and structures. Some of them are very clear, like this huge kind of pyramid structure here. Well, it is some kind of ziggurat, and there's a huge building behind it, and there's some very interesting structures along this ridge line. Huge dome here, another huge structure here, an interesting tower-like structure here. There's the 3 domes there, and there's domes and structures and crazy stuff all over this mountain. I've called this, been calling this the ruined city now, Mount Sharp City, for probably 3 or 4 years now. It's certainly 3.5, 4 years. So ever since we first saw it back in when the rover got there and started taking pictures, we could see this in the distance, and now we're actually much closer to it. You can see it in some fairly good detail, not brilliant, but enough to determine that these are intelligent structures. And if you don't believe that, well, fair enough, but do check out my other videos at the end of this one, which show them up close, okay? And you may think differently. So there we have it. Here's the dome. Have a quick look at that. And this really is only a basic enhancement, okay? Let's have a look at the other clips again. And there are other domes and house-like structures on Mars. This is a video I posted only a few days, well, a couple of weeks ago. Was it a couple of weeks ago? No, it was about 3 or 4 days ago. This one here, Mars bunker houses, okay? This is the cover of it. And this is near Endeavour Crater. It's not in Endeavour Crater, but this is thousands of miles away. And this was photographed by the Opportunity Rover, not the Curiosity Rover, like the image I just showed you. Okay, and this looks like a bunker house with a little door and a window, which looks like it's been concreted up, and it may be thousands and thousands of years old and partially destroyed. And there are, in this video, other ones near it as well. So check that out. There'll be a link to that at the end of the video. That's really cool. And incidentally, this doorway is probably only about 3 or 4 foot high, if it is a door. Okay, so this is not full size as we would know it. This is probably about half size, about 3 foot. Hard to say exactly, but it's not full human size as you could say. Okay, so that's worth bearing in mind. Okay, and there we have it. Really, let's have another flick through these. Let's go through them one by one. There's the basic unenhanced clip, enhanced clip, another enhancement there, just selected, closer up, enhanced, and enhanced again. Like I said, when you zoom right in, there isn't a great deal of detail here because it's miles and miles away. But this does look like an intelligent structure, and it's some kind of dome that's sitting right on the top of this part of Mount Sharp. Okay, there we have it. Thank you for watching, everybody, and also do check out this video. I'll put a link to this at the end as well. Gods of Mars and Earth 2, Martian Statue Art Collection. There's 26 Martian statues in this video. Well, I would say more than 20 of them are definitely statues. There's a few of them that you might question, but most of them are very clear, and some of these are extremely clear images and are right in front of the rover, like this one here. This one here is only literally about 10 feet away from the rover, and it's quite small. And some of them are further away, some of them are very small. This one here is only a few inches tall. This big one here is about 2 or 3 foot tall, very large. This one here is about 9 inches tall. This one here is similar. This one here is quite large. This is about 1 foot long, possibly a bit bigger actually, maybe 1.5 feet. So yeah, they're all different sizes, but they're all on Mars. Okay, check that video out, well worth a look. Okay, so I will credit Rami for putting this up on my page anyway, because basically he published it first, so I'll give him the credit for that, even though I was already working on it when I saw it come up on the page. This is how it works with Mars anomalies. There's a lot of us researchers out here who are looking at the same images at the same time, so do check out Rami's stuff. He does post some real interesting anomalies on Mars, and in fact in the past has found some of the best, I think, various statues and interesting structures that he's found. So do check him out and give him the thumbs up. He's a great researcher from Israel, and he's contributed over the years many new and interesting finds. Okay, so there we have it. So check out the Mars bunker house video. I'll show you a little clip of that now actually. Here's the bunker. Let's go a bit closer. Here's the enhanced image. There we are. And to see it in context, you've got to really sort of see the whole image, really. Hang on, I've lost it now. There's the whole image, okay. And you can see that there's structures next to it, so do check it out. It really is one of the best finds. This was found by Martian, by the way, who was also a member of UFA, like Rami Bar-Ilan is, and myself, and other people like Will, What's Up in the Sky, and Chris from Mars Anomalies, and Tom from Mars Moon Space, and many others, Neville Thompson, and there are quite a few of us, and things are getting really interesting now. And if they really wanted to hide the fact that there was a civilization on Mars, surely they just wouldn't even give us these images. So somebody up there at NASA or JPL is letting these things through. I will probably come back to this area again if there's any new domes or towers or pyramids, because there are so many amazing shapes along here in this part of Gale Crater. I come back to this again and again. I find it absolutely fascinating. This was obviously a city, and now it looks very eroded. And if any of you have been to places like Egypt or Malta or Tunisia, where there are ancient ruins, or Turkey or anything like that, you would have seen similar ruined cities and structures there. So I'm sure this would look very familiar to you. What can I say? Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon. Clips coming up now.